All right, so I am starting this a little bit early, just to make sure everything's working. Nobody is here yet, but that's fine. We'll see who shows up, if anybody shows up. Otherwise, this might be a real short live stream. But I I got 6 people watching already. That was quick. All right, so welcome. I didn't do a pens and use this week. I finished up a class though that I've been taking, and I am so happy that class is over. So that's what I was doing this week instead of pens and use. But it's over now. I'm free for 2 weeks until August 23rd, which is the first day of school. So, and I have 2 in-services. I have an in-service this week, and I'll have another in-service next week. So I guess I'm not real free, but there we go. So welcome, David Anderson, and TJ Archivist is here. Dean is here. And Alex Kostakov is here. So welcome, everybody. Glad to have you. Oh, and ODE from Lisbon. So I'm hoping this is a decent time to be doing this. I know for some of you, this is pretty late at night. I wonder if that dot is on my camera. Oh, it's on my screen, not on my camera. It wiped off. All right, so I'm glad to have you all here. We're up to 10 people. So this is going to be pretty informal. I have some pens I'll show you. We'll talk a little bit about going back to school. I know some of you are in the education world, some of you are not. We'll have to fill up my Lamy 2000. I'm looking forward to that. So one big thing I'm excited about, I bought a bag last year from Baron Fig for school, and it has this nice, I can't really put my laptop in it because I'm using it right now, but it's got a nice laptop opening in the back. And my new school laptop just barely fits in it, which is pretty nice. My old school laptop did not, so I had this all last year thinking, oh boy, I can put my laptop in it. But no, it was too long. It didn't fit. So I'm excited I'll actually be able to use it to carry my laptop to and from school now. Welcome, Paul Herman from Monroe, Michigan. I am not sure how to pronounce your name, Ceildh or Ceilidh. So welcome, however you pronounce that. Khalid. And welcome, Linaire. 8 a.m. on Monday. Okay, so you're about ready to go off to work. I have no work Monday. I was going to be traveling to Fargo this week. The governor every year does a summit on education, but the actual summit this Kaylee. Okay, thank you. Gaelic. Okay, that would explain. Anyway, he always does a summit on education, has some pretty high power speakers come in and things, but I've gone to it every year. Even during the pandemic, he did it, even though it was all online. But I have a funeral for a student on Tuesday, which is the day of that, so I won't be going to Fargo. It's not for a good reason, but I think it's important to be here. So that's what I will be doing. Anyway, I was showing this bag off. This is my back to school, and I can finally use the laptop part of it. It opens. It's got stuff in it already. Stuff I've been looking for all spring. I figured out where it is. It's been in my bag this whole time. So that's awkward. Hey, and I found the other thing I was looking for this year. So I guess it's a good thing I opened up the bag. Maybe I should have thought of that first. But it's got all kinds of compartments. I don't really use too many of them to sort stuff or anything. I like the backpack, though. For a lot of years, I used to use a messenger bag, which is one you sling over your shoulder. But it was, I don't know. I started using a backpack, and when I was doing all those hikes after the pandemic, and I just said, this is nice. Your hands are free, and it's not swinging around. So that's what I went with ever since then. So we got somebody from Kokomo, Indiana here. Yeah, this student, well, he's, I guess, a former student because he was 27 when he died. He went down in a helicopter crash up in Alaska. Had a very cool job. Actually, he was a geologist for the state, and the helicopter went down somewhere really remote, and there were 4 people in the helicopter, and all 4 of them were killed instantly. Hard on his family. They had big plans. They were going to go up there this fall, actually, to meet him and see where he was working. And he's lived in Alaska for a few years, and well, they did make the trip up there, but not for the best reasons, of course. He did a lot of cool work in grad school too. He was actually working with asteroids. He was able to figure out the metallurgical content of the different asteroids when he was doing his master's degree at NDSU. So, very cool kid. At 27 is always just too young. It doesn't matter. But anyway, I'm going to get emotional if I keep talking about that. So I'm going to change the subject here to the back to school stuff. So I'm going to show you just a couple of toys. One of them, I was looking all over the house for this morning and could not figure out what I did with it. And there it is in the book bag. So along with some paperwork I was looking for some students, I'm just like, I don't know what I did with this. Well, it's in the bag, of course. So, oh, so we have Jenkinsburg, Georgia representing us now. Good to have you. And we're up to 20 viewers. So I wasn't sure how this would go. I'm still experimenting a little bit with the best time for a live stream, because I did say I wanted to try to make this a monthly thing. I don't think I can do it weekly. It just, my schedule is too, during school especially, it's just too off the wall to guarantee a weekly. Definitely wouldn't be able to guarantee a specific night. So I think monthly will work. Besides, I got to come up with stuff to say on a live stream. Let me just grab something here off screen. So let me put the camera down here in a minute so you can see this. That's maybe the wrong newspaper that I grabbed here. I may have grabbed the wrong newspaper. Oh, yeah, I definitely grabbed the wrong newspaper. There we go. So just so you can all put a face to this kid I was talking about, he was killed up in Alaska, like I said, in a helicopter crash. 27 years old. Oh, good to have the Netherlands here. David Anderson wants to know if I have a few words about low-price Parker Duofold. So I don't know if that was a low price, but since the pens usually sell for like $500 or $600, which I'm not sure what the economics of that are, I was surprised to find on Amazon that a lower-priced Parker Duofold this week. So I put it out in my community tab. And to my surprise, because I checked on it, yesterday, I want to say, to my surprise, they had sold out. So I don't know if that had anything to do with me or whatever. David Anderson actually pointed out that you can buy, there's quite a wide variety of nibs available for Parker Duofolds. You don't see them so much in America, but it was at the online. I've got the tab still open here. I have like 4 zillion tabs open, actually. Okay, yeah, the online pen company has these different sized nibs. I don't think I haven't decided what I want to get yet, but I have the page open. So what I have here, let's see, I'm just going to list what they have this is for the Parker Duofold Centennial. There's an extra fine, a fine, a medium, a broad, a needlepoint, fine italic, fine oblique, medium italic, medium oblique, medium reverse oblique, broad italic, broad oblique, and an extra broad. So that is quite a selection of nibs, and you just don't see that here in the U.S. Um, let's see, Dash SNL is going back to school tomorrow in Thailand. Okay, good for you. Yeah, it's always exciting to start. Like I said, mine starts the 23rd. I'm starting to get ready. I really have not focused on school at all till I got my classes done, and now they're done. So no, just barely any summer left. But I'm going to go somewhere. I'm going to do a trip, short trip, probably just a day trip. But I'm going. Every time I wanted to go somewhere, I'd be like, yeah, but you got to finish your class. So I do need to go to Dickinson also because I have to renew my driver's license. It's a lot easier to do that in the summer than it is during school. And they only come to my little town once a month. So I'll just drive up there, do a little back to school shopping, and something is getting my allergies today. We just had a whole bunch of rain, so that's probably part of it. Okay, and Paul Herman recommends the online pen company also. So I will have to check them out. I just looked at the nibs, but yeah. Okay, yeah. Clean pens and preparing to fill them. Yeah, I did a whole bunch of pen cleaning a few weeks ago. They got ahead of me. They usually do. I have 5 laying out there that need cleaning right now. Like I said, they get ahead of me. Online pen company. Okay. I have not, like I said, I need to peruse their website. I looked at their dual fold nibs, and I need to look at, I'm curious what they have for Parker, or sorry, for the Sonnet. I know I bought what was an oblique nib, I think, for the Sonnet. I bought 2 oblique nibs, and one was really unusable because it's cut this way instead of this way, if that makes any sense. Alan Perez, greetings from Fort Wayne, Indiana, 82. Here it's barely in the 70s. Pollen count high. Yeah, there's probably pollen. Like I said, it's very wet. There is still standing water in some of the fields around here, and that is not southwestern North Dakota in the late summer. Usually everything is brown here by this time of the year. Hello, Miss Marilyn Darling is joining us from California, I think. So good to have you. Miss Marilyn Darling is actually the one who suggested doing this at this time. So I'm glad you were able to join in. And we have Bucharest, Romania joining in too. So good to have you. And the Netherlands representing. So a lot of people here from all over. I'm always surprised by no matter what time it is. I always find viewers from all over. So I was mostly just talking about back to school stuff. See, Donna Ellis. Oh, Karen Nibs. I wonder if the online pen store might not be where I got my broad nib for my Karen. But yeah, they have quite a wide variety of nibs. And we have Greece. Good to have you. I don't know how to speak Greek, so I won't try butchering that name. I'm sorry. But I am glad to have you here. I think it's cool that it can just display Greek. And who would have thought when I started out on my own, who would have thought I'd be talking to people from all over the world, just sitting in the comfort of my living room in North Dakota. Spec school. Do I know if Mead has stopped their normal line and only do 5? You're talking the 5 subject notebooks, I'm guessing. I actually don't know. I'm gonna have to look when I'm in Walmart. I'm gonna have to go to Walmart. So when I go to Dickinson, so now you know where my big city that I go to is. Dickinson, North Dakota is my city. Oh, in most places that'd be just considered a small town. That's sad. Okay. Okay, 5-star notebook. Okay. Oh, 5-star. Yeah. Sorry. I really don't know. But I'm sure there'll be a plethora of notebooks while I'm up there so I can look. I was going to show one other little thing. This is what I was looking for because I thought last year I just carried my one pen to school. I just carried my Lamy 2000. And this year I thought Vasilos. Oh, no, sorry, Vasilios or Vasily. Okay. Let's see. Okay, because the B is pronounced like a V, and that's an alpha, and that is an L. Okay. Now I can kind of see. I can make out the Greek letters that that we use in physics or in math classes. I actually taught statistics last year, so there's a lot of Greek letters in that. So happily, we have a full math department this year, so I will not be teaching any math. I will actually get to teach physics this year, which is what my degree is in. So I'm excited about that. It's been a couple of years. We had to go through some very small classes that just not enough of them taking physics. So very excited. Let's see here. And the EI is pronounced as E. Okay. So I'm going to flip you down here in just a minute. We'll take a look at a few pens, but I thought I'd hold this up. I used to have this other, I still have it, you'll see it here in a minute, a case of pens that I would carry to school every day, but it was kind of like overkill, more pens than I needed at school. But I found just carrying the Lamy 2000, sometimes you just want to correct your papers in something that's not black ink. So I'm going to carry a couple other pens. And so I bought this, I don't remember where, I've had it for a couple of years. It just says made in India inside of it. And I don't see a brand on it, but it's a 4-pen case. So I guess I can have my Lamy 2000 up here and then my other pens, some 4 other pens. It's exciting. So let me rearrange here and we'll flip you down. So since this is live streamed, you're just going to have to get seasick for a minute. Oh, let me put some pens there too so you have something to look at. And I know whether it's right side up or upside down or whatever. Okay, getting there. Oh, we'll go this way. There we go. So this case is what I used to take my pens to school in. Once I get them all out here, we'll talk about what it is. But I know I bought this at Goulet Pens. I know part of what attracted me was this plaid. I just thought that was sharp looking. But it's a 12-pen case because you can put 6 on this side, 6 on the other side. Since this has been just sitting in my living room, I haven't bothered to put pens in it. And not all these are inked up. So I got a Homo sapiens that's not inked up. Was it Penultimate Dave just reviewed a Homo sapiens yesterday, I think. Or not a Homo sapiens, it was Visconti Opera Master or something. Yeah, I suppose it does look kind of like a cigar holder. I don't smoke, but yeah, I suppose you could put 4 cigars in here. Not sure how big they are, if they would fit. Let's see. So that's not inked up. This is my Senator President, also not inked up. This is the one with the steel nib. Kind of was planning ahead with those a little bit. And I've got another Senator that's not inked up. This is a nice pen. It's just a daily writer type of pen, but I really enjoy it. But everything else here is inked up, except for the Lamy 2000, because we're going to dramatically ink that. But I've got, this is almost empty now, but Jinhao 100. This is a Wallety Airmail 69P, so an Indian pen. Yeah, that's one thing I learned last year. Is it is nice to have more than one pen available. Now let's see if I remember how to pronounce that. I'm going to cheat and look because I already forgot. Uh, Sale. Ah, oh, Kaylee. Sorry, Kaylee. Okay. And Visconti. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that too. Um, Need to do a review of that. I have two clicky pens. One is a Pilot. The other one is a Moon Man. I want to film a rodeo of those two. I have a tag in here. Let me 2000 Amber, which is put away. Um, Waterman Karen, Twisby Draco. The Lamy 2000 we'll just leave here because I'm going to ink it up. Cross. Who was I talking to recently was talking about they didn't like the automotive branding on it. And I agree. At the time I bought it, I thought this was just a good looking pen. I thought maybe the shield could come off, but I don't think it'll look good if I take it off. So I won't. Welcome from South Africa. Oh yeah, Piniter, and yeah, that's something else I'm going to talk about. Good point. And Kaylee says I pronounced it correctly. Okay. And then I have drawing a blank. Quebeco Dia 2 inked up. My Parker Sonnet is inked up with a permanent ink. And I have a pencil in here because I actually like writing with a number 2 pencil also. So flip these aside. Let's see what the brand is on this case. It's that brand, Geo, something like that. But it's a nice case. It's just more pens that I needed. One nice thing about it was so several of you noticed the traveling inkwell, which I need to fill. I like to have black ink with me. I don't care so much about having spares of the other colors, especially if I have other pens with me. But I like to keep this filled with the black that I'm using at the moment. I do have a lot of Pelican black ink, which I'll be getting back to that, but not right away. But this is a Visconti ink pot. You fill it up to this line, and then you can push the pen in here, and it just kind of adjusts to it. And then you flip it upside down, you can fill it. You can get a full fill with it. It's a nice thing. It also has hidden in the cap. There we go. A wipey thing. Although I usually just use tissue. So I've never actually used that for anything. But this is nice because it fits in a pen case pretty well. Just like a fat pen. Although I guess it's going to travel in this thing, won't it? So let's see how well it fits in here. Okay, as long as I don't accidentally pull the cap out, I guess it'll fit in there. But I need it out so I can, oops, yeah, like I just did. So this may not work so great. Because if that had been full of ink, I just would have made a mess. But I was going to show the difference here because somebody mentioned the Piniter is a lot less expensive. So this is the Piniter version. These do not fit like a regular pen, but the same general idea. You open them. I don't think there's anything in the cap. Yeah, I guess you could, I don't know, put some whiskey in there or something. I don't know why I said that. But anyway, and then this part here is actually adjustable. So you can adjust the grippy doodles here for different size pens. So since I haven't really gone anywhere this summer, that's why these are all empty. But one good thing about them, if anybody has a a Pilot Custom 823, is you can get a full fill using one of these. I like number 2 pencils. They're just, I don't know. I'm not too much into ballpoints, but I just like writing with a pencil sometimes. Maybe it's the math teacher in me. Yeah, I keep thinking, oh, I'm going to sell that or or something, and yet I ink it up and I enjoy it. So I don't know. I guess we have a love-hate relationship. I don't use it very often, but I do like that Kaweco Dia 2. It's a quality, well-made pen. I don't know what else to say. So while we're down here, this is Hemingway Jones repellent. We're going to fill this up. Hemingway Jones is not a fan of the Lamy 2000, but I am. So mine has a fine nib. It's gotten to take a break all summer. Time to, let's see, did I put this comment up? Time to fill it up. So I'm trying to use up my black ink still. So this is Pelikan Edelstein Onyx. Why did I buy a full bottle of that? Don't know. Why do I have so many different bottles of black ink? Don't know. But I do have a lot of it. There we go. Yeah, it is a quality pen. We'll have to write with some pens here. I like it. Miss Marilyn Darling doesn't like the Lamy 2000 either. Can't stand the way it feels. And yeah, I'll tell you, one of the objections some people have is it has these ears. Some people just don't like the feeling of them. Some don't like, just this section. They're not for everybody. And it's plain. I mean, this could be a marker. You don't look at it and say, wow, that's a nice pen. You look at, unless you know, it just does not attract attention. Whereas if this is laying on your desk, ooh, that's a pretty pen. But I'm going to point out here on the Karen, if the autofocus will let me, there's an ear. There's an ear. People don't notice them so much with the Karen because it's more built in. I'm curious if there's ears on the cross. No ears on the cross. The cross must use a different mechanism to cap. I think somebody did say that about the Dia 2, that it is underrated. I know you don't hear about the Dia 2 from, you don't see it in reviews or anything. Not sure why. It's perfectly good. What do I love most about it? Okay, I'll be honest. First of all, that. And then I can just write. When I'm writing with it, it just kind of disappears in my hand. If I write a long session, I'm not there thinking, wow, what a pretty finish. I'm just writing. And the words just spill out. It doesn't dry out. It's good for, use at school because I can cap and uncap it if I'm at a meeting, taking notes or something. Just a great pen. So I have to make myself give it a vacation in the summer so some of my other pens get a chance. In fact, right now, the pen that I'm using up the black ink in is this one. This is a Scrix. What's the number? 418 or 419, something like that. It's a Turkish pen. Just a plain steel nib, piston filling pen, but a very, very good pen. Dean is also not a fan of the Lamy 2000. Yeah, there is definitely some complication. Like if you ever take it apart, these ears are connected to a very tiny washer, very slim and very easy to lose. And then you can't cap your pen if you lose it. Inside, there's quite an intricate feed. It's much more than you would expect. Looking at it from the outside, you're just like, oh, there's just a little tiny cute thing, but it's quite something. And then, of course, the nib is very tiny. Still getting used to your 2-week-old Lamy 2000. Extra fine. I thought about getting the extra fine just because of the type of paper I write on a lot at school. This is sometimes a little too broad for the paper I run into there. Okay. Also likes the Lamy 2000. Extra fine. Yeah, Hemingway says he's probably never going to own a Lamy 2000. Um, okay, yeah, the Kaweco Supra. I'm trying to remember which pen that is. Is that the one where you can make it longer? Because there's one I know that you can. In fact, I have one I'm going to review. Let me just grab it here. I'm going off screen. I have one I'm going to review. One of the. Is it a Supra? It's Kaweco. This isn't giving me a help. It just says SUP, so I'm thinking it's the Supra. Kaweco Elite. Okay, that's the plastic one that comes in kind of 70s colors, isn't it? Sajad Hussein owns 3. Hey, we have something in common because I also own 3 of those. Okay, so you're getting a preview of a future review. Yeah, okay, so this is one that comes apart. So I guess if you want a pocket pen, you can. Oh, and I have an extra cartridge. Yay. Okay, so now I can turn it into a pocket pen. So, yay. So you all got a preview of coming attractions. Okay, like an architect nib, I suppose you're saying. I never used the extra fine. I do know that they kind of have a special grind to them. They're like, oops, I think I'm doing this backwards. Okay, doing too many things at once. Elite. I've looked at some of the other Kawecos. I may have to look at an Elite one of these days. I feel like that one is the one that's kind of got the 70s colors. Yeah, same thing. I do not need a new pen. I've been mostly very well behaved this summer. I haven't really bought any pens until this past week. But it's hard to say no. People don't understand why I have so many pens, but I do. Yeah, it is a Supra Fire Blue. Found that on the box finally. Okay. Yeah, it wouldn't have been fun to review a pen and not remember what it actually is called. I need to do better. I had to start a new ink cloth over here. My other one was just getting too inky. It's kind of funny how the colors just build up. See what else we got here. Pilot 78G. I don't think I have tried, or have I? I don't know if I've tried a 78G. Yeah, I have a broad nib. I think it's a broad oblique. And then I have this fine nib that I just inked up. Yeah, they're addictive. Okay. Oh, so is your postal carrier also a fountain pen collector? I actually taught both of my postal carriers. Well, I guess she runs the post office. I don't get home delivery. I have to go to the post office where I have a box, but taught both of her kids. Okay, so there's a modern Kaweco. I'm just gonna have to. I know Jet Pens has a bunch of more obscure Kaweco models. Let me just. I wish I had a way to put my screen up, but I'm just going off screen here, looking at Jet Pen. Well, I guess I could show you my screen. I don't know what you're seeing. Yes, I do have 4 zillion tabs open. Let's see how this is looking. Okay. Not amazing, but oops, how do I turn that off? There we go. All right, so we're just going to look up. Oops, I misspelled Quebeco. So a lot of course, the sport is the most common one. Let's see if I can. So down here where they have the product lines, we've got Quebeco Sport, Nibs, Student, more sports, Lilliput, more sports. Okay, Quebeco Student, Quebeco Perkeo, some ballpoints. Do not see the Quebeco Elite. Let me just try typing that in. Nope, at least not at Jet Pens. Well, I tried. Let's see, where was I? Okay, yeah, there was vintage Quebeco Elite, but we're talking about a. Okay, well, if it's discontinued, that's probably why they don't have it. I was thinking of the student pen when I talked about the 70s colors. Uh, okay, yeah, if you use good paper, but yeah, they are kind of wet. I have, this fine that I have is a little bit too broad for the paper I use at school. Let's see, this is sort of a mediocre paper. This is a Kikuyu paper. We'll just see how it does, since I haven't written with it all summer. Yeah, and they do kind of have a sweet spot, but I see where that's spreading. Let's see, let's compare it to the Scrix. Yeah, see, the Scrix is actually a little bit finer pen. That's some nice, quick, sloppy writing. I lost my where I was at here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so you had the Lamy 2000 medium. I've not used their medium nib. Um, yeah, it is. It doesn't suggest a spot really, the way a lot of pens do. Like this, we'll just use the Scrix again as an example. You just kind of, oh, I hold it down below the threads. It just kind of makes sense. Okay, I'm gonna have. Maybe I've used the 78G. I am not sure, to be honest. Let me just Google that real quick. P. They sell them on Jet Pens. Oh, sure. I know that pen. Not available at Jet Pens anymore, apparently, but yeah, I know that pen. I have. Oh, they're at school. I actually have one at school. Okay, Scrix 419. Yeah, see, mine has been great. I like it. I actually own two of them. The other one is empty right now, but yeah, I've been very thrilled with them. Um, oh, okay. So the girlfriend does dip pen calligraphy. Yeah, I don't have the patience for calligraphy. Probably not the talent either. Um, it looks good. Only dip pen I have is this guy. I used to do ink swatches and things with it, but I don't really use it much anymore. Okay, so That's why I couldn't find the Kaweco Elite. It's discontinued. I guess I've been lucky with my Scrix pens. Like I said, I only have two. Okay, yes. I haven't done any nib grinding yet. Moto Lisa has shown me several of her pens that she's had professionally ground, and she has some very interesting nibs. There was one that has like 4 cuts into it and all kinds of neat stuff. I should ask her who she had grind hers. She's the other North Dakota fountain pen personality, but she mostly does Instagram, not YouTube. Kaweco, yeah, the Lilliput. I have a Lilliput. I just emptied it out recently, but it's a nice, convenient, small size. Not exactly a note-taking pen, but I like the nib so much better than I like the Kaweco Sport. Yes, the original Parker 51 with a truly hooded nib is a very good pen. It was slow. They didn't grow on me right away. The first one I had has a kind of a broad nib, but I found another one recently that with a much finer nib that I think fits that role a lot better. Yeah, the Lamy 2000, I think their nibs tend to be broad. I might have to get a medium next. It takes some getting used to. Okay, 150. Yeah, it sounds like I've just been lucky with Scrix. Of course, mine aren't. I don't think mine are vintage. I mean, I bought them on eBay, but they're. I've written this one almost dry, and it's starts up just like a champ. Or is it a vintage? Okay, it could be vintage. I guess I don't know. I bought it on eBay, so I know the company is still around. The one of the annoying things with the Parker 51 is you can't always tell which way it's turned. This isn't okay. This is not a Parker 51. This is actually a pen I don't care for much. I keep wanting to do a first impression of it, and then I keep thinking, or not. Very, very needlepoint typewriter. So when you fill this with ink, you're stuck with that ink forever because it takes so long to empty this pen out. But yeah, I prefer the semi-hooded. And okay, and you prefer the 45 over the 51. Yeah, they had several very similar models. Trying to remember which one. I don't think I have anything over here. That's a Argentinian pen. I thought I had like a fake 51 over here, but I guess not. Oh, vintage Chinese pen. I want to review this one of these days, but I like it. It's actually a really nice pen. And then a modern Chinese pen. No, not seeing it over here. And then I have the one, trying to remember the number. I have one of those Parkers that's a capillary fill. Well, let's just grab it here. Just a second. I'm grabbing a whole bunch of Parkers here, so we'll make this exciting. All right, so we're going to get very Parkered here in a second. I'm starting to work on labeling my pens too in the pen case so I don't forget what they are. see. I don't remember if I have a 45 here. Oh, I do have a 45. Here's a Parker 45. Yeah, and well, this one has an original converter, trim ring that wants to escape. And I was always, I thought this was, I don't have any other nibs, but I like the nib unit. You could just replace it with something else. See, I have this one and I have a green one that's, I want to say it rates as a fine. I didn't grab every Parker I have here. But yeah, 45, there's a reason that it lasted for so long. It was a good pen. Let's see what else do I have here. This, don't remember the model on this. Maybe a 21. Kind of a low cost 51. Let's see. What are you? Oh, yeah, this is the capillary filler pen. So because of the hooded nib, they put this little marker so you'd know where the front of the pen is. Never did that on the 51. This is, what is this? Parker Reflect. Oh, somebody from England sent this pen to me. And then I have a Parker 61. Oh, yeah, the capillary filler. This one has got a rainbow cap, but it's hard to tell. And the one we were actually talking about, the 51. Yeah, and see, how do you know which way that's pointed? It's cool idea, but and then just for fun, I got this out. This is got a two-way nib. And then I grabbed my Sonnet. This isn't zooming. This isn't focusing the way I hoped it would. There we go. So this is an oblique that's kind of cut the wrong way. And then the medium nib that it came with. And then it has a oblique in it. Actually, it's a very fun oblique. And yeah, so you can replace your nib units on your Parker Sonnets also. What else we got going on here? Yeah, the 45 just lasted forever. The 51, oh, you got yours. I think it was in the 70s that they quit making the 51. So you got yours close to the end. You know, I've used an Architect nib, I think. It was loaned to me because I can't think of a pen that I own that has an Architect nib. You know, that's the one where it's ground kind of like a cursive italic, right? But instead of being like this, it's more like this. So your cross strokes are broader and your up and downs are thinner. Somebody correct me on that if I'm making a fool of myself. Yeah, I started realizing that I don't know what this pen is. And when you get it, you know its name. But then as time goes by, you're just like, okay, sounds like I've been lucky with my Scrix pens. So I only have two. Mm. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I wondered. I was just looking at this 51 and kind of wondering about that, how well does this plastic hold up after plastic gets old? Is there going to be a point where it breaks? Don't know. Yeah, I suppose if you're used to them, there's no problem. I just So I kind of agree with that. I have a few oblique nibs, just something different, but they're not pens that I particularly care for. Like I have a Lamy 2000 that's it's cut into an oblique, and I'm not sure why I kept it, why I did that to myself. But yeah, the Parker 45 is just a pen that works. That's funny. I guess I've never had that problem, but I like it. Yeah, but yeah, I suppose the nib does look very similar, except here we're stuck with a nice clip to grab around, and Lamy 2000 we're not. I suppose that's why the 21 was a cheaper pen. I bet that's what this one is. Oops. We just picked up a Parker 45 ticket. Yeah, I think you're right. I think this is a 21. I know this is one I bought from Pierre Gustafson. You know, one of the other things I've heard about Pelicans is for a while they were using a different kind of plastic in their nib collars, and that a lot of that plastic is degraded. Okay, yep. And you remembered the word. Because polystyrene, I remember that is the name of the plastic. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I've got a couple Pelicans. Actually, let me grab a Pelican. I'm gonna have all my pens out here in a minute. I'll just bring over the whole drawer. So this Parker 400 NN, which this should be in here, that's one that I guess the collar in here was made out of a polystyrene. So when you buy them, you're supposed to use a different material. One of these pens, I think it's this one. It's a Pelikan MK10. I always have trouble. This one's got a leak in it somewhere. I was actually going to try using that Captain Tolly's to just put around here, because it's somewhere around here where the leak is, like around the ink window. I was going to see if that Captain Tolly's would plug it. And then I always forget until the next time I pull the pen out. Not exactly a semi-hooded nib. My neighbor's really excited. Oh. She's got a woman and a little kid in her driveway. Must be relatives. I could hear her clear as day through the door there. Okay. But anyway, I have it's a nice looking pen, but I get inky. So I got to figure out where the leak is coming from there. Okay, and Alan Perez says a lot of those were using the polystyrene. I've got one of the Parker's cheapest pens. I'll have to drag it. I haven't written with it in a long time. This is a good pen, a Pelikan Silvexa. Would I be interested in appearing on the Apple Boom quiz video? I don't know how well I do. My knowledge of newer pens is pretty lacking. I did okay the first one I saw, because I knew where Lamy was based in Heidelberg, but boy, then he's, what is this pen? Don't know. That would be kind of fun to do, though. Yeah, a lot of you're right. Yeah, there's a couple of the Esterbrookes, like I'm told that you're lucky if you get one without any cracks. Yeah, and I do prefer the original Aurora 88. But yeah, I worry about the piston, you kind of have to take that little nub out of the back and unscrew, and then finding the parts for the piston is, they sell them on eBay, but I guess it is quite a bit of work to fix them. Let me just grab this really cheap Parker. So this is not a beauty. But way back, Parker, during the Depression, Parker made these pens. They called them dollar pens. And the whole idea was they'd put no Parker branding on them. The workers were not paid as well as the regular Parker workers, but it was a way to put people to work. And then they sold these basically no-name pens. And, it was a way to give people some work. The nib, you probably can't tell with this camera, but the nib isn't even tipped. It's just kind of folded. Just cheapest plastic they could find, cheapest manufacturing. But I thought it was such a nice story that Parker did that. And you know how often I ink that pen up. Not very. Wow. So Hero is moving up in the world. I always think of the Chinese pens as being lower cost, but I do know that they make some very expensive pens. I am surprised to hear Hero with that kind of cost. Welcome from Minnesota. I almost got as far, well, I almost got to Fargo, but I won't be doing that now. So I almost made it to Minnesota this year. Minnesota, Fargo has a river between it and Minnesota. And Bondic UV adhesive. Okay. I suppose that's when you have to shine a light on. And yeah, the Aurora, I guess the new version of that is the Aurora Duo Cart, if I'm thinking of the same pen. I do like the Aurora Duo Cart. I have too many Auroras, probably. Vintage and new. Kind of surprised when I looked at it all. All right, well, I think I pulled out enough pens here. This is how I store my pens, by the way. I have these, it's like a tool chest, a wooden tool chest, and then I just put my pens, I cut. This is the same kind of stuff I use in my show, my pens in use, only I thought the green would look classier. So I store them all in this kind of thing. This, what is this pen? Oh yeah, this was a cheap piece of crap vintage pen. Pardon my French here. These were Osmia, I think. These were very not impressive pens. I reviewed them a long time ago. Have not inked them up since. I feel like one of them was cracked or something. Oh, Hema, not Osmia. Hema 56. Oh yeah, this one, the one had a stuck nib. That's what was wrong, or stuck piston. So I have to figure out how to get that out one of these days. I guess I didn't really care. Oh, and it's got a different nib in it. Oh, that's good. Yeah. For many years, I just used a Parker Jotter. And then I went nuts. Oh, we've been talking pens for an hour. I'm going to flip back up to my face. I think an hour is about good for a live stream. So, there we go. Now you can see what I look like. Yeah, I can't believe we've been talking pens this whole time. One thing that's kind of fun we'll have to try someday is I can, using this StreamYard platform, which is what I'm using this year, I can get I can even have guests on here. Just out of curiosity, anybody use these lobster rubber bands to grip stuff? I think it was Chris Rap 52 sent me this one. I used it a lot. The rubber in it's starting to dry out. I'm probably going to have to look on Amazon or something to find another one because oh, you don't buy lobsters really in North Dakota grocery stores. I haven't even seen them in a tank or anything. It's just not a thing out here. I have a friend who at Christmas will do, he likes to cook lobster tails on the grill, so he must get them frozen specials from somewhere. But yeah, you just don't see lobsters. There is a, what is it called? Red Lobster in Bismarck, eaten there exactly once. Yeah, I'm surprised. I didn't realize. I mean, I just started going at my pens. I am not even close to what my plan was for today. Um, just started whipping pens out, and there the hour went. So, but it was fun. That's part of the fun of live streams is they kind of take on a life. Sometimes they'll take on a life of their own, which this one definitely did. I didn't even really drink much water. I'm trying to drink more water. But anyway, I'm glad everybody was able to join in. I see we got up to, I know for a little while we were past 30 viewers. I think some of them were probably getting scared when I'm just talking pens. Like, what is this live stream here? But yeah, it was fun. So I'm going to keep trying to do one of these monthly. I am still working on putting together the Q&A. I will probably go into the video description later and add that in, the link to that. I've got 7 questions I started. I haven't filmed any answers yet, but I started writing down answers so I can, when I'm on location somewhere, I can film an answer. I'm actually going to be getting a new driver's license. I said at the beginning of this, sometime before school starts, because it's hard to do it after school starts because of their horrible hours. And so I may go somewhere fun and film some answers while I'm up there because, you can run over from Dickinson to Medora. There's a beautiful national park there. Probably, well, I know it's not the least visited park, but it is, Teddy Roosevelt is not what people think of when they think of national parks. It is beautiful. There's a north and a south unit. So I might just do that after I get my driver's license or before. It's a fun drive through the country to get there too. Anyway, just glad to have everybody here. And yeah, I think monthly will work well. So I will, as always, I'll put it up early so that people know the time. I don't know what everybody thinks of this time. It worked well for me. Usually, if I go to the library, it's on Sunday and they open at 1, which, my time. And doing this at 1:30 works pretty well. So we'll have to do this. So anyway, I want to thank everybody who came from New Zealand and Australia and Romania and all over the world to join this little live stream from North Dakota. So glad to have you. We'll do this again in September when give me a couple of weeks into September because I'll need to rest my voice on the weekends because I don't talk that much in the summer as I do when I'm teaching. Anyway, it'll be fun. It's always, summer's almost over, but then you get into it and it's just like riding a bicycle. So thank you all, and we'll do a pens and use this week, I promise. Good to hear from you all. Now I'm trying to find how I end this. Oh, maybe the end broadcast button. How about that? Let's see what happens. Are you sure? Yes.